So, alright then. Have a nice evening and let's try to solve hand number B-27 today. Level 5 Bridgemaster campaign, let's see what we got. So West preempted 3 diamonds, meaning West has like a 7 card diamond suit, and we ended up in a 7 spades contract, which is always quite welcome to me since actually these 7 contracts are quite straightforward, if I might say so, since you aren't allowed to lose a trick anyway, so there's no point in thinking about end play techniques and so on. So, potential losers counting from South's hand. There's a diamond loser in South's hand, which we can ruff, presumably, and other than that, there's a heart loser potentially. So I guess this hand might be about a heart loser unless Trump split like 5-0, 4-0. In which case we have to draw 4 rounds of trumps and the diamond loser might become a thing. Like, we still have to remember, of course, that West preempted 3 diamonds. So East will have a singleton diamond and that's it. So we cannot allow to ruff our diamond loser early. Which also might mean that if trumps do split 4-0, we have to find an alternative way to dispose of our diamond loser. Which might turn out a little tricky. So first we need to decide in which hand we want to take this. And which of the 2 diamond honors we want to keep. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. But I actually think winning in hand might be the safer option. Simply because there are more entries into hand than into dummy. And if we might figure something out later on, having an extra entry to dummy might just be preferable. Or maybe not. Let's see. So the thing is, I expect hearts to split 4-1 in some way. Or spades to split 4-0. Either thing will happen. Well, we could play a triple heart finesse against East, I guess. Which actually just amounts to playing it like against the 3 of hearts specifically. So if we play hearts like 3 times from dummy and duck whenever East plays the 3 of hearts and otherwise take, that might finesse if East has like 4 hearts to the 3. Which actually might be a thing in this hand. However, I'm brutally honest, I'm not sure if East plays like... If I play like the 9 of hearts and East plays the 3 on trick 1, if I would be brave enough to duck that. Probably not. No. So I think this triple finesse thing is doomed to failure. Except maybe if we can like finesse against the 6 or so later on, maybe. Well, there are multiple ideas at play. I'm also thinking, of course, about squeezes. Like you should always do, especially in the level 7 contract. Squeezes are one of the most common techniques of making your final trick if it misses. Especially since end plays are not available in Grand Slams. But not really sure what that implies in this particular layout. I should just check how the trumps might be distributed, and I think I can always check that by just playing a low trump to dummy. Like, I have 4 trumps which are equal in value, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the dummy has 4 trumps which are equal in value, 10, queen, jack, king. So no matter how we play the suit, there will always be at least 2 tricks on which a low trump from south is played, as well as a higher one from north. So by playing that one first, we don't miss out on any opportunities actually. And I think I might win this one in... Well, we have enough hard entries back, so let's win it in south. I should try to play a little bit quicker also. Yeah, so trump split. Okay, so the trump suit isn't the point of this hand, since we can always just ruff our final diamond loser, no problem. What we should really be thinking about now is hearts. I think we can draw one more round of trumps safely right now. I don't think we need like 5 entries into dummy or whatever. And we have enough entries back also in hearts, so there should be no problem. Oh, the trumps actually split 2-2, alright. So we need to get a count on West's hand somehow. I'm just going to play the ace of clubs, ruff a club, and play back to the ace of diamonds just to get a count on West's hand. That seems like... Or maybe play 1 heart in between also. Well, I need to ruff a club, so... and I think I'll ruff that 1 high, simply since I have enough entries back to hand. So play the ace of clubs, ruff a club. I know already that West started with 7 diamonds, right? I know West started with 7 diamonds, and I know he had 2 trumps. So by playing these clubs, I basically want to get a count on the hand to see how many hearts East has. So West follows 2 rounds of clubs as well, which is interesting. I think I might switch to the ace of diamonds, which is blocked anyway, and ruff another heart. I don't think the 3 of diamonds will lead to anything. West is always going to stop the 3 of diamonds. I'm just using that one as an entry to dummy basically by ruffing it. But I want to play another club just to get a count. Yeah, we know that East didn't have any more diamonds, he couldn't. West has a 3rd round of clubs, alright. And we also already showed Doubleton spades, so our heart's actually 5-0, is that what it's all about? And if so, what can we do against it? Well, West had 7 diamonds, 2 spades, and 3 clubs. The question remains, is West's final card a club? Or is it a heart? Because if it is a club and West was void in hearts, we must have played hearts differently. I think that's what's going on here. But how did we know that? I mean, we cannot start hearts by playing the ace because East would have the Jack 10, 8. He would always cover the 9, and the Jack 10, 8 would be 3 tricks for East, of which we can only cover 2 with the King and Queen, but not the third one. So, actually, if we knew that heart started 5-0, we would have finessed from north immediately. But we also need to decide immediately, that's the problem, like, we cannot, like, play one high heart first to be sure. If we go for the 5-0 and go for the finesse, we would have to, like, let the 9 run in at trick 1, which is terribly risky. Because West could easily have the singleton 10 or Jack of hearts. In which case we would fall. What is West's remaining card is the question. Is it... Is it a club or is it the 10 or the Jack of hearts? Because if the singleton isn't the 10 or the Jack, like, we can just let the 9 of hearts run at trick 1. But I think I will redo this and play this a little differently, actually. I'm sorry, but I think this was... So I think winning in hand was the correct choice. But now I think I should ruff a club first, actually. So I cross in trumps. I play the ace of clubs. And I ruff a club. Low or high doesn't matter, I think. Yeah, West shows 2 rounds of clubs. Alright, now I switch to dummy again, possibly. So trump split 2-2 again. So West has shown 2 rounds of clubs and 2 rounds of trumps. There's a 3rd round of clubs which we ruff with the ace in order to keep an entry into dummy. And West follows a club, meaning West had 3 clubs and 2 spades and 7 diamonds to start with. So there's 1 card we don't know. It could be a 4th club, or it could also be a heart, but we don't know which one. More likely, actually, it's a heart, I think, but... It could be the 10, it could be the Jack, it could be a low heart. So what I now want to do, as weird as it sounds, is cross to the ace of diamonds and play the 9 of hearts and let it run if East ducks. Yes, I will lose if West has the 10 or Jack of hearts single. But I think that's actually less likely at this point then East having all 5 of them, in which case I need to make this play. So let's cross in diamonds and let the 9 of hearts 1. Oh, East covers. Okay, now I cover 2. Okay, West Singleton was the 8. Great. So now I know everything about their hand, because West can't have one more heart. He has already shown 3 clubs, 2 spades, and a heart. And he had 7 diamonds, so his heart is completely open. Meaning there are 3 remaining hearts out there, which are the 10, the 8, and the 6. No, the 8 is gone. The 10, the 6, and the 3. Yes, and we can finesse twice, playing from dummy, and play low whenever East decides to play the 3. That's it. So we basically are playing against East's 3 of hearts. Don't care about the other cards. We were always cover them with the 8 and king in case East plays something else. But just in case he plays the 3, we let it run. And for that we need 2 more dummy entries. But we actually just have those by roughing a diamond. It's 1 entry, and by in trumps is the other entry. That's why I played this carefully and roughed the club first, before drawing the second trump, to save 1 entry. Yeah. We rough a diamond, East pitches a club. Now we do a hard finesse, basically. It's basically a triple finesse, or however you might call this. I actually think of it not in that term, but I think of it as just finessing against the 3 of hearts, basically. So East covers, we cover, we switch to dummy again, finesse 1 more time, yes, East produces the 6, we cover again, and I think the 4 of hearts in dummy will now catch Ace 3 of hearts. Yes. Alright. I haven't actually seen a hand in which having the 3 or the 4 in the suit made a difference, but we wouldn't have had a chance to make this if North had 9753 instead of 9754. As weird as it sounds, but we actually needed to play against the 3 of hearts, because it was the only heart that was lower than every heart in dummy. And if there's one card out there that is lower than our cards on your side, then you can finesse against it. Very, very weird constellation, which doesn't happen all that often. I don't know if like finessing against the 3 of hearts is a term, but I think of it more in that fashion than in the fashion of like playing a triple finesse against the high cards. That's way too complicated. But we needed to be extra delicate about this by not playing 2 rounds of trumps early, as tempting as it may seem, but we needed to rough 1 round of clubs in between to save an entry. So that by drawing the second round of trumps later, we could also do a necessary switch to dummy. So we could basically do 2 things with in one trick. Yeah, we should try to learn West shape, exactly. So West we know West has a 7-card diamond suit, a great place to start, and by drawing trumps we can also easily learn how many spades West has, and now we play as many rounds of clubs because that's our shortest suit, so West is likely to have some cards in clubs as well. We need to play as many club tricks as we possibly can. And by that I mean 3. So playing the ace and also ruffing clubs twice. Yeah, if it turns out that West has a singleton heart, if we know that, then we know that just playing the ace, king or queen is not going to cut it. Since East has a 4-card heart suit with either the 10 or the jack, and possibly also the other one or the 8. And in both cases, he will cover dummy and our contract will fall. If East, for example, has like 3, 6, 8, 10, let's say, and we just play the ace of hearts from our side, yes, we catch the jack from West with it, but East still has 6, 8, 10 against 5, 7, 9 from dummy. So basically every card one step higher. I mean, whatever we play from dummy side, East will cover. If we play the 5, he plays the 6. If we play the 7, he plays the 8. If he plays the 9, he plays the 10 and so on. And in every case, we need to play the ace or the king or the queen. Meaning that we won't have a chance to pitch our 2 of hearts. Ever. And our contract will eventually fall to one of East's hearts. We don't know which one, but to one of them. So just playing the ace is never good, with no 4-1 distribution in the world. So if we know there is a 4-1 distribution, since we know West has a singleton heart, our only chance at that point is to do this weird finesse against the free thing. And for that we have to hope that West's singleton is covered by the 9, since if we play the 9 from dummy at the first heart trick and East plays a no heart, we have to let it go. And we have to pitch our 2 of hearts, meaning that we have to hope that West doesn't have anything higher than the 9. If he actually has a heart at all. So if West has a singleton, that's fine. What we need it to be the 6 or the 8. Because if West singleton is the 3 of hearts, it's also no good. Since then East has too many high hearts and we can never finesse against the 3. But with the 6 or the 8, single with West, there is still a chance to make it. With any other 4-1 distribution, there is no chance. So, in order to learn West's distribution, we should immediately start with clubs. Yeah, I played 1 round of trumps, which is also fine actually, but playing clubs immediately seems equally appropriate. And rough a club, our early aim is to play as many club tricks as possible, simply to learn more about West's shape. Now we play two rounds of spades, or we could first rough the club, doesn't matter. And now we cross again in trumps, and now we have learned enough. Now we have learned that West had 7 diamonds because of his preemptive bidding, 3 clubs and 2 spades. Meaning West has either 0 or 1 heart. Meaning there is at least a 4-1 distribution. So our only chance to make it is, yeah, even a 5-0 doesn't make it, since In case of a 5-0 distribution, East has 4 cards that cover dummies cards. East has, well, the Jack covers the 9, the 10 covers the 7, the 8 covers the 5, and the 6 covers the 4. So East has 4 hearts which are individually higher than dummy's 4 hearts. Meaning, whenever dummy plays one, East plays the higher one. And he forces us to play our ace, king, or queen. And we will never make the trick with our 2 of hearts. That's a problem. So 5-0 is no good. And every 4-1 distribution is also bad, except if the singleton with rest is the 6 or the 8. Because in that case, well, we play the 9 from dummy. And if East lets it go, we also let it go, since West only has the 6 or the 8, so he can't take the 9. But if East covers it, West plays... We play high, of course. West plays his 6 or his 8. And in that case, East still has the 3 of hearts in hand. And we can actually return to dummy 2 more times. And finesse in hearts against the 3 of hearts, basically. So we take every heart trick except the one in which East plays the 3. That one we let go. And because dummy's hearts are all higher than the 3 of hearts, we will make it by means of that finesse. Yeah, the ace confirms. We can draw the ace to absolutely make sure that East doesn't have a diamond anymore, so West started indeed with 7 diamonds. Now we know that West is either 1-7-3 or possibly even 2-0-7-4, but in case East has all 5 hearts, we don't have a chance. The only hope is that his 13th card is the 6 or the 8 of hearts. Yes. Those 2 cards we have to hope for. The 9 is played, and if East lets it go, we let it go, as counterintuitive as that may seem. Yeah, and if West plays the 8 of hearts, we're there, because we know that West can't have one more heart because of his distribution. And now we can just finesse twice in hearts. Yeah. And, well, these finesses are a mess to explain in terms of ordinary finesses, although they are basically ordinary finesses, but actually I think the best way to think about them is to, not really in terms of a finesse, but like a forced play against East's 3 of hearts. But like we play hearts from north every time, and we just wait for East to play the 3, and then we can play our 2. If he doesn't play the 3, well, we will take it and we return to north again and try again, basically. And if East covers every time, well, then the 3 of hearts is the only one that remains, and dummy, whichever heart dummy has, in my case I opted for the 4 of hearts because it has the most effect, I guess. But it could be any other heart as well from north, of course. Well, in case East covers every time, he will remain with the 3 of hearts until the very end, and whichever heart north has left covers the 3 of hearts, because they are all higher than the 3. And in this case, the 4 of hearts makes the final trick. This is one of the very, very few hands in which having a 3 versus a 4 in the suit actually makes a difference in terms of trick potential. I mean, These hands have to be constructed. They basically don't turn up in real bridge. Like the highest card that ever like mattered in a real bridge hand I had was maybe the 7. The 8 matters quite a lot. Actually, there are quite a few hands on which having the 8 is an important asset, but there are very few hands already with the 7, and basically no hands where a card holding lower than the 7 really matters turn up in real bridge. Alright. Have a nice evening. See you tomorrow for a new hand. Bye for now.